Hello everyone, I think we are live again on 5B Bullrun, live crypto trading. Very interesting weekend. So last week has been really busy for me. I didn't have a chance to do any trading on the weekdays except some small ones. But it's a weekend right now and I'm just looking at the market and looking at all this big fallout on all the coins, CFX, Filecoin, and it's just like a sea of red again. But it's just probably one of those pullback that we are looking at. So yeah, so I'm back here again this weekend, just looking at the market and and see what's going on. So and also telling you a little bit about what's happening in the week. So back to a couple of my that's my doggies. Yeah. So back to a couple of my favorite. So currently I'm pulling out right now, just looking a little bit at a longer time frame or a higher time frame, and it seems like Magic has broken this trend, so which is a little bit worrying for me. Not so much worrying in a sense that worrying for the market in general, but I think it's like maybe waiting for an opportunity to buy. So I'm still not so sure whether I should put this, under this week, or I should just kind of, really put it under this. Yeah. So I think to be safe, I'll probably just not go for the weeks, but like really go for the close. Yeah. So we really know where this thing will lead, right? And yeah, so it's like it looks like it's broken support at this moment in time, and the RSI is really kind of like in no man's land in the middle, and yeah, the likelihood is just gonna go down a little bit more. And maybe we can just check on some other stuff like BTC. So BTC on the daily chart, let's just pull out and see what we can get. So if we do the trend line, so it's really touching the trend line right now. Yeah, so it could be a good time to buy. I think the support is there, very very strong. So this part is the part where it's going to get really strong, where there could be some slight push up from here. So we are really hoping to see that there is a push up this from here on the daily time frame. And if it is, then it's good news, because it could technically just go straight up from here, right? So if we are really talking about a chart from here, it could just go straight, yeah, or it could just go, hover and then just go up like this. Now it's a little bit, why am I on a, I think let's just get it, yeah, clearer and maybe a deeper line. Yeah, so it's my brush. Yeah, take a line would be better. Yeah. So it could just go up from here. Yeah, we'll see. So we're still watching the market right now. So BTC, FTM, Phantom. Yeah. So Phantom on the daily chart. Let's just take a look. Yeah, it feels like it has crossed the. Yeah, again, slightly worrying as it has actually broke the trend line. So meaning to say that we are expecting some downward movement currently for the next few. So if we zoom down to some of the lower time frame, like the 4, the RSI is almost at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, so that's interesting because if you look at the yeah, so it's not so accurate. So trying to compress this and so we can get a more, yeah, so it feels like this is like a more accurate chart. And how does it translate? Yeah, so even that you can see that it's really breaking the trend line. Yeah, so here it's breaking the trend line right now. So Phantom breaking the trend line, so we are probably expecting some downward movement from here. Lido on the daily chart, let's see where it goes. It's closing in as well. Yeah, so I think it's got for the last few weeks it's got a big run, so it's taking some time to come down to the trend line. I think this is a really good support trend line to look out for. So we have seen BTC, ADAS, this is a different, this is my spot trade. So I also would like to take a look at some of my other favorite coins. ETH, let's see how ETH is faring in this market. Why is it in blue? So strange. I mean, this Bybit technical chart analysis drawing stuff is just not very friendly. Most of my charts goes missing after a while. So yeah, just a bit of a thicker trend line, and you can see that ETH is almost touching the support. So yeah, so I mean we're just probably waiting for it to touch the support before it goes up, or if it breaks the trend line, then we are really looking at a totally downward trend. Yeah, so I'm just trying to see if I can pick up some trades as well, so just bear with me. Yeah, I'm gonna see if my magic at a short-term time frame, is there anything that I can catch. Yeah, so RSI is the stochastic RSI is really at the bottom and turning the ground, so I might take a bit of a long on this for a short-term trade. There might be some long opportunities here. Yeah, so this is on the 5 minutes. So I've actually moved a little bit from the 5 minutes and now really trying to take a look at also the 15 minutes chart to see whether there is any confluence there. So there are no confluence at the moment because the 15 minute chart is showing that it's coming down. But again, the RSI 14, it's really at the bottom, so there might be an opportunity for this to kind of swing up. Yeah. So the 5 minute chart is also looking like it's going up. Where was I? It was not. Yeah. So actually there isn't any opportunity right now because we're really talking about the 1 minute chart going on some sort of not a relief, but it's actually going down. So we have to wait. So I learned something new over the weekend, or rather I was testing out something over the, not weekend, but last week. So it's this thing called, we've been talking a lot about the trading view, which is a really good technical analysis platform. I do like it. Right now it's just that I have to flip between trading view and Bybit, which is not very ideal, but in terms of what TradingView provide, it has a little bit more, and I do like it. Yeah, so I was tracking the APT the other day, and so what I really like about it is that I could basically set a couple of I can actually set a couple of alerts. Yeah, so for example, I was trying to do, say, what was I doing? I was trying to do and RSI. So I was trying to basically capture some RSI above this level. So what I'll do is that I will just go on a right click, and then I can set an alert. So if I set an alert, I could basically set that the stochastic RSI, you know, if it crosses or if it's greater than say 85 on the value, it will beep once. It will beep once per bar. It could beep once per minute. Just you know, I could put there APT buy zone, sorry, sell zone, right? So if it's above 85, I would technically want to sell. So so once it's greater, so it will alert me when it's greater than 85. So I can actually so I'll create something like that. Yeah, so you can see a little bit of a faint orange line here, which means to say that once it crosses, it will actually beep me, right? So I'm on the K. The K is actually the blue line right here. Edit. So I can go and edit. So the K. So I'm on the K. K greater than 85, so meaning to say that if the blue line crosses 85, which is here, it will beat me, and I would just stand by to basically do a short on APT. Right, it's actually very close right now, so it's actually going up. So what we are actually looking for me when I'm doing the short is for the stochastic RSI, for the K to cross over. So basically for the blue line to cross down on the orange line. So now it's like crossing up, so it's different, right? So but I'm basically trying to get it at the zone up above the 85, so I can basically just take a look at it, right? And maybe I should change this. So there are some other options like crossing down. Yeah, so maybe I should do a crossing down, but I'm still learning on some, because when you do crossing down, there is a couple of other stuff, right, to take note of. So I'm still playing around with this, just so that I can understand where it is. So now currently I'm setting at 85, which is hopefully, yeah, you'll get a beep soon, you know, when it crosses up to 85, and then I can just take note or stay in touch with this. So what I really like about this is that if I'm logged in on my web, and I'm also logged in on my my mobile will also give me an alert, right? So I'm still learning TradingView. I will update you guys when I learn a couple of more stuff. So you can actually put some stuff on the watch list. You know, there are some also stocks that I'm watching right now. So basically the stock market is down, I think, last week. So I mean, I think Friday was another bloodbath. Yeah. So CFX again, not so sure where is it. So I'm trying to see if I can pick up some short-term trades. FTM on the 15 minutes. Are we getting any trades right now? So it's still up. Yeah. Nothing much at the moment. Oops. Yeah. How about on the 5 minutes chart? Yeah, it's kind of going down. So I might be able to pick up a long in a while. LDO, Lido. So some of the narratives that I'm still following right now, this couple of weeks, is still the layer ones. So near Aptos, yeah, just seeing what's going on. And Matic has taken a really big hit. So at 15 minutes, LDO, nothing much, but yeah, I mean, could see a little bit of a break of trend on the 5 possibly, and on the 1. And oh yeah, if you see my account right here, so I've topped up my account a little bit. I was really down, so I got killed by the market last week. So I topped up another, I don't know, I think another $30 just to fill up my tutorial money, I would say. Nothing too much. It's just play money for me. Yeah, just to train myself in this time so that when the opportunity comes for me to really go in big, when the market kind of pulls up. So I'm just basically using this to train my intuition. You know, I'm training my trading skills. I'm still learning. You know, I'm very new in the market, and I'm learning to trade better. I'm learning quite a bit from crypto school, and it's very exciting. Yeah. So usually I don't really go for the short-term trades. I don't really dive into BTC or ETH because the movement is just not too big for me. So I like a little bit of a volatility, and let's see what else is volatile. Oh, optimism seems to be still in. So on a 1 minute, you can see optimism is turning around. Yeah. I'm not so sure why I'm using the rest of the stuff as well, but you know, I mean, you can't really see it properly sometimes, but yeah, if you can see here, optimism is kind of turning around, but at the same time, it's also turning like, it feels like it's just gonna turn and go down because, you know, a lot of times when this RSI 14 is below like the 40s, it kind of like do a little bit of this deep dive, you know, and I'm just gonna show you, right? So sometimes it just go on this, and I really, really hate this. It's just not giving me the. Yeah, so it just goes for this deep dive down, you know, and yeah, not so sure why. Sometimes it just do that, yeah. I'll delete it instead of doing a Control Z so that I can do a better one later. Yeah, so optimism, Solana, one of my favorite as well. Just taking a look at how it's doing. So let's just take a look at the daily. Solana on the daily, it's let's see the trend. Oh, it's really touching the trend line. Yeah. As you can see, it's really, really going for the trend line, man. In fact, it has actually broken trend. Yeah, if you take a look at it very closely, Solana actually has almost just on the line, you know, and it's like it actually broke the trend probably a couple of maybe yesterday or something, and let's just take a look on a 4 hour. Yeah, so if you look at the 4 hour, you can tell, right? It actually went in. So when was this? This was yesterday at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it went down, and it feels like it's gonna come up, but you know, when something has already broken the trend, even though it came up a little bit. So this is not very accurate. You take a look. You look at this. Yeah, sometimes when you draw it at a very high time frame, it's not very accurate. So I would like to zoom down sometimes, you know, and then just try to manage. Yeah. So if you take a look, yeah, if you go down to a lower time frame and kind of adjust it a little bit more, you can tell that it is actually not. Yeah. So it's actually going. It's actually really going down. Yeah. I mean, it's actually really just touching the trend line right now. So I would say this is actually a really good time to buy if you are really trying to long. Yeah, so you know you can see that actually the stochastic RSI for the 4 hour is actually at the bottom and it's almost going to come up. So it feels like it's going to have a good bounce from here. Yeah. So again, learning some tricks from Crypto Banter and Sheldon's crypto school. So we are always watchful on the Dixie. And then on the Dixie, on the 15 minutes, it's actually going up. But if you are talking about a daily chart, and let's see, yeah, so Dixie is actually going up. Yeah. So if Dixie is going up, it's actually not good news according to common theory. you know, common theory that, you know, if Dixie is going up, I mean, the market is technically coming down, right? So you can actually tell, right, that this is actually what's happening. So on the hourly as well, it's not showing any sign of breaking down at the moment. So the interesting thing about TradingView is that it gives you this news button to tell you where some of the news that's coming up, right? So Wall Street ends the week with a slump. You can read what's happening. US dollar holds 7-week high after strong inflation data. You know, stuff like that, and I like it. I mean, sometimes it gives me a very good overview of what's happening. Yeah. So no trades today, I think. Nothing that interests me today. Maybe the 5 minutes. Yeah, even the 5 minutes and okay. So on the 15 minutes, it feels like Solana is ready for a short. The market is really, you know, so again, the sentiments are just a little bit different for me right now. You know, sometimes, yeah, so on the daily, you know, we feel like it's gonna go for a bounce. On the 15, it feels like it's going down, you know, so it's a little bit confusing, as you can tell. On the 30, it's almost crossing, you know, the stochastic is almost crossing, so we are ready for a short. And so probably I would just say that in the short term, there will probably be a little bit of a downside. And then maybe in 1 or 2 days later, you know, we might get a little bit of a bounce, right? Again, the market is very, very uncertain right now, and I'm not really sure of what to do or where to go, actually. Yeah. Blur, I think, did a bit of a really big hit last week. Yeah, so even on the 15 minutes, you can tell it's just, yeah, it's down 16%, and it's totally, yeah, it went just straight down. Yeah, so for anybody that shorted the market over the last few days, congratulations to you. And billionaires are made in the bear market, and I also feel like billionaires are made when you start shorting. I'm a shorter actually, but last week I was just very distracted by a lot of my other work. Didn't have a chance to really take a look at the market. Not so sure if I would short the market anyway. It was just very uncertain. We were really not so sure what's happening, right? So BTC feels like it's gonna bounce. Maybe let's just take a look at the dominance chart. Yeah. BTC dominance. Yeah. Yeah, BTC dominance over the 1 hour is kind of like coming down. The daily, yeah, daily feels like it's coming down as well. Yeah. So I do have some very long-term tokens that I'm keeping. Some of the tokens that I bought many years ago, tokens like Theta, tokens like Algo, and I'm really still considering whether I should switch them to BTC, really depending on what's going on. So again, there was something that was trying to learn. So for example, Algo and BTC, right? So this is the Algo BTC pair. I guess I could look at any pair right now because it's really not so crucial. So if we look at the stochastic RSI on the weekly, sorry, so that's what I learned from Sheldon. So if we look at the stochastic RSI on the weekly, it's still at the bottom, right? So apparently, I think if we take in the consideration of, again, the whole RSI theory, when it's up, we sell, and when it's low, we buy. So I think we can take that. I mean, currently right now it's just sitting in no man's land, but I think maybe if this thing goes all the way up, and breaking like the 85, maybe there's an opportunity to switch my algo to say BTC, right, or ETH. So again, I'm still learning about this pairing. So the idea about this pairing is basically ETH. So algo ETH, algo ETH. Yeah, so algo ETH again is also in some sort of a middle ground. Nothing much going on, so still waiting for it to go up. I mean, this is probably like more of a weekly chart, so meaning to say that you probably take an exchange of this trade like maybe 4 times a year, according to Sheldon, and I think it does probably make sense. But I'm too short-term a trader to really wait for something to happen for such a long time. So we'll see what happens. I'm still trying to think about what to do on this, right? Yeah. So if anybody has any advice, yeah, I think it'll be good to kind of know what's going on. Yeah. So I'm still really looking at some possible trade this afternoon. If it doesn't, I mean, if we don't really see any, I will not take the trade. But I'll just wait around, for a better trade to come. XRP. XRP on a 15-minute feels like it's coming down, right? So the stochastic RSI is very high. Maybe I'll just wait for the RSI to come up and match this thing. Filecoin. So the China, Filecoin. Wow. So Filecoin on the 15 minutes looks like it's going down currently. So back to the crypto bubbles, right? CFX, it's a Chinese token. So Filecoin as well, I think it's a Chinese token. So they are taking a little bit of a hit. Some of these Chinese narrative. So Filecoin looks like it's going, it's ready for a little bit of a short, but I'm again not so sure, right? It's flat at the top. It doesn't have this, turning and stuff like that. Haven't taken a look at SHIB for a long time. Could be an interesting short on the 15. On the dailies, I think a lot of coins are actually crossed the. I feel that a lot of coins have actually crossed the support, for on a daily chart. Which I mean, of course, these are real DGen coins, right? So we're really not so sure. But it feels like it's also at the end of the stochastic RSI as well. Yeah. The bad thing about so-called Bybit is that, if I draw a chart like this, I don't know where to save it. It doesn't save. When I come back tomorrow, it's gone. I have to just redraw it again, which is damn annoying. Trying to get used to just Gala games. So this is a coin that I'm really trying to go long term. So I could basically, yeah, it basically went off the cliff. Yeah, basically went off, man. Yeah, look at this. I mean, could be a good buy for now, but I think I'll just be waiting for more signals, you know. Yeah, maybe waiting for this to come down and take a turn first before I take a plunge. So this will be a token that I want to keep long term, right? So I really do like Gala games. Gala games, yeah. So it's an interesting ecosystem. So yeah, I like it because it also has gala films. So as you know, I'm in the film industry. I'm in media. You know, I do films. I do you know, I do some drone shots and look at this. Yeah, so they do have a lot of very interesting stuff that is coming up, right? So yeah, what I really like is that you can actually run some nodes. So for example, if Gala goes down and if I buy Gala, and I could start running some nodes, right? So currently one game node, if I'm not wrong, this should be the game node, is 2.31 million Gala. So 2.31 million Gala, if you work it out at 0.4 cents, let me see. So 0.4 cents times 2.1 million, $84,000. Yeah. So you're really talking about maybe $84,000. Yeah. Yeah. So $84,000 to run a node. Yeah, which is interesting. So they also have Gala films. Where is the film nodes? So let me just see if I can bring up Gala films. Gala film nodes. Yeah. So film.gala. So this is another node that you can run. So this is something that I'm really interested in. So if I do have some extra, you know, money, I would probably consider running some film nodes. So I'm at the nodes, but I can't seem to buy. Not so sure why. Yeah, so these are some of the films that they are running. So really looks like a lot of manga. Ghosts of the Ruin. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. So like some NFT that's going on right here. Yeah, that's Gala Films, right? So so last week I did you know, met up with some very interesting people. Yeah, I mean in the Web3 industry. So it's fun. It's fun. I'll see if I have an opportunity to share with you about a project. I'm not so sure if I've signed any NDA. I've not signed any NDA, but I don't think it's a good time to share about them right now. So it's still in the infancy stage, but I think there are many interesting things that's been developing on the Web3 gaming front, and this would be one of the more exciting, I would say, one of the more exciting companies. Yeah, that will be coming up. I think it will be an up and coming company. Yeah. So my dogs are really annoyed with little kids running around outside my house. So I have no choice, but I'm streaming outside, as you can tell. I really love my space. I think this is the space where I do most of my work. I look at some trades and yeah. So it doesn't feel like there's anything that's going on right now for us to really take a trade, but it's okay. We shall be patient. Part of the game is just to be really, really patient. So again, my spot trades got actually stopped out, which is really good because now I could really go in and get it at a much cheaper price. So I was in Phantom and I was in Cardano, and I'm just still looking for an opportunity to go back in again. Yeah, so now I'm also prepping a lot of my cash, just prepping, not a lot of my cash, I mean I'm prepping some cash to go back into the market again. So I am in maybe currently about 50% in cash. So just waiting on the sideline just to see how the market is reacting so that I can continue to just dive into the market. Getting Tingling on a higher time frame is still holding up. Yeah, it's not really going straight down to the support at the moment. Yeah. Dodge. Wow. I don't even know how to draw this trend line, man. Dodge on a 1 hour, it's like, isn't it crazy? Yeah, I guess I could draw the trend line right here. Yeah. Nothing too much on the dot at the moment. Sorry, nothing too much on Dodge. Dot, yeah. Let me see. Dot. Dot is another one that I'm following, you know. So on a daily, so you can see, it's just almost touching, man. It's just touching actually. Yeah. So if you see this green and red line, very thick green and red line that is running through my chart, so this is called the super trend. I use it sometimes, but not very often. It basically I mean, if you dive if you go in a little bit more, you can actually tell, or rather, it could actually tell you that at what point the market is going down, right? So this is like a trend line. It basically states the trend of what's happening at that point in time. So this is usually a little bit more accurate on a higher time frame. So if you kind of look at the 15 minutes time frame, not so accurate, but it kind of gives you an example of when the trend is going down and when you can take the trade. And so yeah, you don't usually get the bottom, but I think when it feels like the trend is going up, so like more of a confirmation of where the trend is going, right? So now the trend for DOT is still going up, but it's kind of like, you know, going to, it feels like it's gonna have like a down run, right? So yeah, DOT could be there could be a possible short here for DOT. The stochastic is kind of high, but again, I really don't like that this RSI is just sitting like in the middle of nowhere. I was in this trade some time ago. Yeah, nothing too much on the 15. BYDX. So on the 15, it feels like it's coming down. It came down a little bit. It cuts through the 15. At the 5, it's almost at the bottom for the stochastic RSI. Let's just take a look at the daily chart and see if it's hit some support lines. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I think DYDX has crossed the support line. Yeah. So again, yeah, we'll wait and see. So this is really like a wait and see weekend, you know. AVAX. Yeah. So AVAX on. Yeah, I think we saw AVAX already just now. So AVAX has crossed. Yeah. Well, I guess it's a good sign for people who are sitting on the sidelines with money. I think now it's a time to just start prepping. It's not really, I don't think it's a time to buy right now, and I feel like it's just waiting for some. I mean, personally, I don't know, but I'm waiting for some real clear signals of where the market is going. So near is coming down to the support very soon. So I'll just convert this line to a white line so it's clearer. Yeah. So actually near is on the line right now as well. So everything is kind of like on the line. So I'm just really waiting for some clear signals from the community for me to be able to take a trade. So I'm a little bit careful at the moment. So I don't want to be burned. So I just want to know that I'm really doing the right thing, right? So again, if you look at, yeah. So on the 15, Atom feels like it's going on a downtrend again, yeah, based on the stochastic RSI. On a 5 as well. So yeah, it looks like there is probably something on a 5 for us to take note of. The trend is still going up. I'm not so sure if I want to take it. Yeah, the 1 has crossed the 1 line. Yeah, 5 is just crossed. So maybe let's just give it a shot. Yeah, let's do a 10x shot on the market. Yeah, so I'm in a trade, very short term. I'll put a bit of a stop loss at 5% currently first, just in case something happens. But usually it's nicer if you can put some sort of stop loss just above the next high, so it doesn't go there, right? So, but I think 5% is okay. So 5% is almost at like 1, 2, 3, yeah. And we'll just wait. Yeah, we'll just wait for the trade to happen. So if it goes down, it's good. So the trend is still not showing that it's going down. Yeah, the trend is still show that it's actually, you know, there's this uptrend, this green line that's going on right here. Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm just trusting, or rather just seeing what's going on, possibly going on here. Not expecting it to really fly all the way up. If it just flies all the way up, sure, right? So I have a stop loss of 5%, which is $1.18 damage, right? So a couple of things that I learned, so-called in school, is there is usually a possible measure. So we could technically measure, say, a reward risk to reward ratio, right? So if I'm going on a short, there is a short position. So I click here. So technically, if my stop loss is here, my take profit target should be around here, which is like a 3% ratio. It's really hard to follow this because it's really impossible sometimes, right? Just to get it right. Yeah. So I'm not very optimistic about a 1 to 3 ratio. Usually on a shorter trade. So I just go with the flow and see where that takes me. Yeah. So I usually close up like about 10% for now in this market. So once I hit around a 10% profit or even a 15 or 12, I try to close it, right? So I got closed out on some trade where I was expecting 25, I was expecting 50% on the 10x, but I think it's a little bit unrealistic at this point in time. So I will just take small profits from the market. Maybe that's called scrapping. But if I really take it down, if I really want to, I can really take down my stop loss to just above the line, and then I can narrow down to a 3% here, which is again that's a possibility, right? Yeah. So those are just some possible trades. So it gives you actually your stop losses, but I don't really use this too much because it's just not very accurate. Yeah. As you can see, yeah, it always does this all the time. Yeah. So once you hit a trade, the computer seems to know that you are taking a short, and then it decides to just go up, even though it actually did a dip, right? And so if you look at the 1 minute, so it did a dip and then it did this little right up again. But it's okay. We will see what happens. So if it decides to go up, then I have nothing to say. But hopefully it comes down, and then I'll have a nice trade. So it also doesn't feel like it's ranging. I'm not so sure, but maybe it's starting to range for a trade. So sometimes I would do pull out and then just do a bit of a range. So this could be like the range that it's doing. So a 2.5% range. So those are also some possibilities that the market could be doing a bit of a range. So if the market is doing a bit of a range, it's kind of nice. So you can tell this is the top, this is the bottom, it goes up, it goes down. So it's like the buy, sell, buy, sell. Now it's like, you know, hopefully this thing, if this thing goes down to the bottom, then wow, I think that's good, right? But it's kind of narrowing the range right now, I guess. Yeah. So from a 5-minute, I mean, we can plot some stuff if we want to. So I'm just trying to see how I want to plot this, right? So there are so many ways to plot this. It feels like this is like a so if this is like at the top of the range, if this is where it is, then you know it has like broken trend. But if this is where we are counting it from, then maybe it's some sort of a descending triangle, I guess. Yeah. So a descending triangle also means that yeah, the market could be just going down from here, right? So if it's a descending triangle, so it's like, you know, you can tell that this is like a descending triangle. So let me just check my descending triangle. Yeah, so usually if it's like a descending triangle, it is very likely that the market will continue to go down. So, you know, you can tell that this is kind of like a descending triangle. So the market kind of goes like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then after that it kind of goes down. Yeah, so I really don't like this. Yeah, so yeah, it feels like a descending triangle to me at the moment, but we'll see. Yeah. So let's look at our trade. Yeah, it's not really printing money, but you can tell that the stochastic RSI is coming down on the 5-minute, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So which means to say that the opportunity for this to come back down again is relatively high. So let's just take a look at it. Yeah, it's kind of like bouncing off the tracks at the moment. So if it's what we say it is, of a descending triangle, it will just kind of come down, right? And then we'll just have to check. Yeah. So, but again, the little bit of a bad news is that when you look at the 1-minute stochastic RSI, it's kind of like printing up. So again, you can't really tell. So it's more, I feel, just going with the trend rather than you know, always depending on the stochastic RSI. So for me, if the trend is like kind of going down, I would probably take the trend that's going down. So I would take the higher time frame, going with the trend first, and then taking a peep at, let's say, just deep diving or just going deeper into what this possibly means, right? Yeah. So but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we can wait on the trade while I'll just take a look at other stuff. So how's our BTC doing? So currently I'm just switched to OBS. So when I'm on OBS, meaning to say that I cannot look at the comments. So yeah, BTC on the 15-minute also looks like it's taken a bit of a dive at the moment. So sometimes like this, it's really hard to draw any of these trend lines because you really do not know where this is going to stop, right, at the current, at this moment in time. So yeah. So it's still down by a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just waiting, really waiting for it to turn around, right? So if we are taking, so again, if you are really looking at most of the stochastic RSI from 5, from 15, from 30, right? So it's all at the top. So meaning there is a little bit of a confluence over there in terms of where it's gonna go, right? Except for the 1 hour where it shows that it's probably still going up. Yeah. Again, the market just feels like it has some downward movement to go. I'm going to move this down a little bit more to here. So meaning to say that there could be a little bit more downtrend currently. I try not to adjust my stop loss most of the time. Yeah, so just so that I stick to what I believe in, or I stick to my narrative. Yeah. Apologies for my dog. So I'm I'm just trying to find a way to see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Maybe this is toggle percentage. Yeah. But if I can zoom in a little bit more on these charts, I think it'll be very interesting. So I'm just trying to learn about this a little bit more. Oh, maybe this is the one. Yep. Ah, nice. Yeah, so there is a bit of a zoom button. Yeah, I can do it. That's good. Yeah. So it's touching on the 5 minute, and then so this is kind of like the trend line that we have drawn. So hopefully it takes a turn down. Yeah, it's cutting very close, so it's coming down very quickly. We'll see. Generally, it feels like the whole market is going to come down a little bit more over the weekend. So I'm just taking that opportunity to see if I can just do some short trades, just finding some short opportunities at the moment. Yeah, so even for Phantom, yeah, on a 5 minutes, you can see that it's just going down. But I think it's just kind of like gliding down very slowly, and it's not like doing that deep dive currently. Let's see how Matic is doing on a higher time frame. Yeah, it feels like a lot of these have really just reached the bottom, man. Yeah, or really touching the support line right now. Yeah. So again, I'm just doing this live trading and recording it down. If somebody sees it, it's good. It's also for my personal record, just to see where I am, just tracking my own personal journey as I go along. So this would form basically for me an opportunity to basically hone my skills. At the same time, I'm trying to be able to bring some of this information to people who are starting to trade, and that's what I want to be, right? So I want to be able to bring information. I want to be able to share what I learn along the way, and that's the purpose, you know. So hopefully I get better and better in this. I get better and better in being in front of the camera. So I'm still learning. I'm still trying to adjust my tone, adjust my energy, adjust my level. Yeah, so hopefully this is something I will do for a long time. Yeah. So it feels like the trade has turned on me a little bit, just crossing this line that I hope that it will come down. But again, like I said, the stochastic RSI on the 1 is a little bit dangerous for me at the moment. So I'm always caught between this 5 minute trade that just doesn't do me any justice, especially when it's kind of like up here. So I always feel like the market is just turning against me all the time. Whenever I put a short trade, it kind of go long on me, and whenever I put a long trade, it kind of go short on me. So, you know, I might take a view of the Costanza theory sometime, just to prove myself wrong. But I don't want to be in that situation, right? So I want to be in a situation where I'm exactly what it is, right? Meaning to say that when I chart, when I feel that the market, or rather the chart, is supposed to go down, then it should be going down, right? So if it's not, then there may be something wrong in terms of the way I think, and I may have to just adjust that and just learn how to adjust that thinking. So I'm about currently about 80% wrong and 20% I'm right. So I'm trying to shift that paradigm. I'm trying to shift that balance. So it's a little bit, yeah. So I'm always then getting myself at least 80% of the time I'm in a right trade, and then 20% of the time I'm in, maybe I'm wrong, right? So I feel like I want to close this trade because it's kind of like going against me. Uh, but again, this is probably like at the end of the tunnel, so it might be taking a turn again down. Yeah, and and since my stop loss is a little bit high, so I might just wait for the opportunity for it to come down. And also, my idea or my thought process about this is that most of it, the stochastic RSI, is on the top, meaning to say that it will come down at some point in time. This as well, right? So the 15 minutes, the 30 minutes. So I have a couple of indications for me at the moment. So I might just wait on a little bit and see if my theory works out for this trade, right? Yeah. So you see, it feels like it's right now like a little bit in my favor, and then it's going back up again. So it's like 0% at this point in time. Yeah, but it feels like if it's on the 5 and it's coming down, and if it continues to come down, it feels like I could turn a little bit of a profit and it could start printing money. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So this is a big drop for where it is. Yeah. So sometimes what I learn is also that before a big drop or before a big upswing, the market usually goes on a little bit of an opposite direction first, just to kind of, I don't know, what they say is just to kill off some of the liquidity, or just to kill off some of the short or long positions at the end, where people are all there waiting to short and long. So I'm still not there yet, just trying to catch the drift of what that is, and calculate or know where the stop losses are. Um, so uh, it's really hard to say. So I'm just taking a step at a time. Let's look at this market right now. So this could give you actually a very interesting an idea of where the market is going for the whole day, and where you could pick up some of the pieces, right? So this could be an opportunity for a long again, not so sure. Yeah. So if you're wondering what this realized P&L is, So every time you take a trade, somehow especially if you are doing some sort of a leverage trade, the platform takes a little bit of a fee. I don't know how much is this fee. I don't know how that is calculated. It feels like it's calculated based on the funding rate. And so every time you buy and sell, there is some sort of a fee, which is like a 0 point. So for this, it's like a 14 cents. So 14 cents in, 14 cents out, there's 28 cents. So if I'm above 28 cents, I'm in a profit. If I'm less than 28 cents, even though there is an increase, so if this is like 1% or 2%, yeah, so 1% is the idea, right? So 1%, if I'm 1% up, 26, it might be a break-even trade. So anything above 1%, I would say, let's say if it's on a 2, usually I'm feeling like it's an okay. I mean, you are in the greens, right? Of course, you don't make a lot of money, but that's how it is. So we'll just take a look. Okay, good. So it's coming down as not say as predicted. So I probably have to adjust this a little bit more. So in terms of the line, the trend line, it was not there. It was a little bit higher up. Yeah. So it was here. And the good thing is that if you take a look deeper into so-called the super trend is coming down, yeah, which is a good sign for me because I'm shorting the market. So now when it goes into the green, the next thing to decide is where to take the profit, right? So there are so many ways to see where to take the profit, whether I'm taking a profit at you know, at the end of the line, which is probably going to be you know, which probably it's going to be the maximum profit. So I would say the maximum profit that I could go for this trade, if you look at possibly some of the support line, it's going to be here, right? So I'm just going to change the color. So this would be for me maybe a take profit zone for this trade at the moment. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to come down all the way based on the fact that there is some sort of lower, higher low here. So if you take, let's say, if we take some sort of a quick trend line up here, yeah, the take profit zone could be even right here, right? So of course we can take a look at it. So if this breaks this trend line, we can kind of feel like it's actually, it could go down, right, a bit deeper. So some people use Fibonacci, some people, I mean, I'm just going to be a little bit more conservative right now since the market is a little bit volatile. So so a possible taking profit zone will be at 13.028. So if I take a look, and I would say if I take profit at 13.028, you know, so it's a 4% ROI. Is it very good? It's not really very good, so I probably will not take it there, but I will just wait for the confirmation, right? So of where it is, right? So a 4% win for me, not so exciting, but if it start bouncing off this, I'll just probably close my trade. Right, so we'll see where this comes down to. It feels like there is a lot more to go, but we never know. Yeah, so even on the 15, it's kind of like turning, which is a good sign. So for the one, it's kind of like hovering down, and it's basically turning a corner up. Yeah, so once you see this turning a corner up, it spells a bit of a danger for any short positions. Yeah. Well, again, the good thing is in terms of the trend, it's a downtrend at the moment. So hopefully it continues the downtrend and we can see something. just out of curiosity, CFX. Nothing on a 5 minutes, as you can see. It's still really like nose diving. It's pumped too much, I think, for the last few days. Yeah. So if we look at the crypto bubbles, you know, in a week itself, yeah, in a month, look at that, last month, 644%. It's just a crazy pump, man. Yeah. It's a Chinese layer one, quite interesting. So technically, because I took the trade, so-called, I decided to take the trade off the line of the stochastic RSI on the 5 minute. I should be more disciplined to maybe sell off at when it hits the bottom. Yeah. So again, if I want to be yeah. So where was this? Yeah. So if I really want to be so let's just go back to this again. So now we are on the, where am I? Atom, right? So Atom, I could find Bybit. Can I find Bybit? So there is no, okay, Bybit, there's a Bybit. Yeah. So Bybit, this is on a weekly. Just now I was on the 5 minute. Yeah, so the 5 minute is coming down. So I could technically set again, set an alert. Yeah, so I can set an alert with the K crossing the, I would say 10. Yeah, it will probably be very helpful, or even, I mean, I want to be a bit more conservative. When it crosses 20, it alert me once per minute, so I can come back. So this is my Atom sell, sorry, profit, stop loss, and then profit, close profit zone. Yeah. So if it crosses over to the 20, I would probably decide to close the trade. So I'll just put this as a close zone for me. Yep. Oops. So I'm on a trial. So the basic plan only gives me one, then which I need to subscribe if I need to. A 30-day free trial. I don't want to go into it right now. So I'll just go back to my AppTOS and just delete the APT. So I have alert somewhere. Where's my alert? I can't find my alert anymore, which is very strange. Yeah. Let's see if we can go back to Atom and set the alert. Okay. Less than 20. Where is it, man? Cancel. So where am I alert? Let me see if I can cancel my alert. Sorry, I'm still learning how to use this, right? So what's this? take a look at my trade right now. Okay, it's kind of printing money. I think it's not bad. So just waiting to see if it goes off, so if it goes on to a more closer line, you can kind of see. Yeah. I mean a shorter time frame, so it gives me a more accurate a read on what's happening. So I'm at a 3% currently. So I'll just wait for a while. So this is a crucial point. I want to see if this thing breaks through. Yeah, if it breaks through, then I'll just keep it. Okay, good. It breaks through the line, meaning to say that yes, there's an opportunity for me to just keep on the trade. So now I'm like on a 5%. If you go on a 1, it's going down. So I feel like sometimes I feel like I should be closing the trade. Sometimes I don't. So it feels like this is printing money for me, but at the same time, you have an opportunity for some sort of a bounce, a quick bounce here, and then it kind of kills your trade again, right? So we have to be a little bit more careful. So the good thing about me being on trade all the time is that I could close this trade anytime I want by closing this position, right? It could be fast because sometimes things can be moving down really fast, and so you need that opportunity for you to be able to close the trade fast as well. Yeah, so if I see that there is a little bit of a turn here, I could just close the trade, but it's still continuing to go down, which is very good for me. Yeah, so you can tell that this trade is really printing some money. Not a lot, but I think it's good opportunity. So I will let it ride for now, and just seeing that it could just go down a little bit more, because maybe on a 5 minute it's still coming down, and especially